The enthralling tale of a persistent search culminates in a horrific final excavation that rewrites history and challenges the human imagination. Prepare to be astounded because reality is more magnificent than your wildest dreams. It's the Lahaina brothers again, and during the final phase of excavation at Oak Island, they made a terrible discovery with their crew on the 140 acres of the supposedly cursed Oak Island. The Lahaina brothers, along with metal detector expert Gary Drayton, had primarily discovered clay, wood, and metal implements, but they had also come across a number of rare artifacts. However, what precisely are these insanity-inducing discoveries they made during the final Oak Island excavation? As we unearth each piece of treasure discovered in the final section of the Curse of Oak Island, the truth becomes apparent. When the excavation reached a depth of 0 feet, a subterranean vault that had been concealed for a long time was discovered. There was an overwhelming sense of surprise and disbelief. The group cautiously entered the room, their pulses racing in anticipation. Inside its dimly lit confines, they witnessed an extraordinary sight. Before them was a glittering tableau of extraordinary wealth, comprised of piles of gold and silver coins, antique artifacts, and priceless diamonds. The treasure was quickly estimated to be worth billions, making it one of the most significant discoveries in history. The artifacts disclosed a rich history, connecting Oak Island to antiquity and validating long-debated hypotheses. As news of the discovery spread like wildfire, it attracted the attention of historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters all over the globe. Specialists dedicated their time to discovering the treasure's origins and legends, making Oak Island the focal point of an intense investigation. The Lahaina brothers have spent their entire 9-season tenure searching for treasures believed to have been buried on the island by the Knights Templar, British soldiers, or even Spanish pirates. In the Season 1 finale of The Curse of Oak Island, titled The Find, metal detectorist Steve Zazik discovered an inscribed coin while investigating a swamp. Later, it was determined to be a copper Spanish 8 Maravedi coin from the 17th century. In the Season 2 premiere, Once In, Forever In, the coin was cleansed and examined, revealing that 1652 was inscribed on the reverse. Further examination of the coin confirmed that it had been lost in the marsh for hundreds of years and was not a recently deposited object. All indications pointed to the fact that this was a legitimate historical discovery, the first of many throughout the program. Could this inconspicuous copper coin be evidence of previously undiscovered pirate treasure? The Lahaina brothers certainly appeared to be on the right track in their search for Oak Island's concealed wealth. In the second episode of Season 2, Return to the Money Pit, treasure hunter Gary Drayton discovered not one but 2 distinctive treasures while metal detecting. His first discovery was made near Oak Island's shore, where he and his associates uncovered a button from a 17th-century military officer's uniform. Although it remains unknown to which military it belonged, it could serve as evidence that a military presence was responsible for some of the confidential activities on the island. Meanwhile, Drayton and his companions made their second find of the day in a nearby forest, a small coin concealed in the soil. This coin appeared to be a 17th-century Maravedi, similar to the one discovered in the previous season's finale. However, compared to other coins, this one was substantially smaller, perhaps the size of 2 Maravedis as opposed to 8. Even though they are small, these incredible discoveries may point to a much larger treasure hidden on Oak Island. In the third episode of the second season, The 8-Pointed Star, Gary Drayton made 2 astounding scientific discoveries. This time, Drayton and his companions discovered 2 17th-century King Charles II Britannia coins buried beneath the pebbles and parites strewn along the coastline. One of the coins clearly displayed the year 1771 on its surface, indicating that they were centuries old. Where did these 17th-century coins originate? They may have been abandoned by treasure hunters in a hurry, or, more intriguingly, they could have been left on Oak Island by a wealthy gang that came there to conceal their loot. Undoubtedly, the Oak Island team would need to conduct additional investigations. Diver and treasure hunter Tony Sampson cleaned the coin and observed what appeared to be a cross pattern on one side. This peculiar cross may be the emblem of the Knights Templar, who established one of the earliest global financial systems in the 13th century. Could this coin have been used for finance by the Knights Templar? Who can say? What initially appeared to be the discovery of a small Spanish Maravedi coin may, in fact, be a crucial clue leading to a large amount of Knights Templar treasure concealed on Oak Island. In Circles in Wood, the sixth episode of the fourth season, Gary Drayton, along with associate producers and fellow treasure hunters Jack Begley and Alex Lagina, conducted metal detecting on land formerly owned by Samuel Ball, a former slave turned cabbage farmer. Drayton and his companions initially uncovered a piece of chain buried in the ground, but as they continued their investigation, they eventually unearthed a small copper and bronze ring. They persevered, confident that they were on the correct track, and uncovered a coin that could be hundreds of years old. Samuel Ball, one of the wealthiest residents of Oak Island, owned 36 acres of the island. Did cabbage cultivation contribute to his wealth, or did Ball discover a hidden treasure? These discoveries could represent just a minor portion of the Oak Island treasure. Gary Drayton, a metal detecting specialist, and Charles Burkhouse, an Oak Island historian, continued their investigation of Samuel Ball's property in Season 4, Episode 8, The Mystery of Samuel Ball, where they made a number of intriguing discoveries. The first item Drayton and Burkhouse discovered was a gentleman's button, which was commonly found on 1700s clothing. They soon unearthed numerous King George II coins from the 18th century, as well as a lead ingot used to create musket balls. Drayton hypothesized that these artifacts were the remnants of a military camp. After uncovering what appeared to be an engraved metal tag from the bottom of a handgun, they were left wondering, were these military campers from the 18th century searching for forgotten wealth or abandoning it? The only thing that can be said with absolute certainty is that Oak Island was extremely active during that time. In Blood is Thicker, episode 15 of season 4 of The Curse of Oak Island, Gary Drayton employed a metal detector to examine the objects Rick and Marty Lagina had unearthed at the GAL-1 excavation site. Initially assuming it to be a coin, they quickly realized that the word plated was engraved on it. Dr. Laurie Vanderland, an expert in antique valuation, examined this spherical object and concluded that it was most likely a gold-plated button from a 17th or 18th century British military uniform. When the Lagina brothers discovered a large metal hinge with drill marks in the same location, this theory became even more plausible. Dr. Vanderland examined it and concluded that it was from the same time period. Even more intriguing was the fact that such hinges were frequently used on treasure chests. Even if the hinge originated from a ship that used it for a different purpose, it remains a very intriguing discovery, one that raises even more questions about what lies beneath Oak Island. In Dead Man's Chest, the second episode of the fifth season, Gary Drayton and his metal detecting team once again discovered evidence of 17th century activity on the island, which may have been caused by the military, pirates, or both. Soon after discovering a 17th century musket projectile, which was used in cannons, they found what appeared to be a Maravedi, identical to the one found in the Season 1 finale. The find of this coin is unique because it has been cut into tiny pieces. Oak Island entered a new era when the dust subsided, and the significance of the discovery became apparent. The long-held legend had finally come true, permanently altering the fate of the island. Oak Island-specific museums, exhibits, and research facilities have emerged, revealing the island's enthralling history and incredible discovery story. The Oak Island treasure symbolized human perseverance and the ceaseless pursuit of the unknown. It served as a monument to the ability of the human spirit to solve even the most difficult challenges. The island's name would endure in the annals of exploration and treasure hunting, inspiring future generations to investigate unresolved mysteries. Today, Oak Island remains a fascinating destination where tourists can follow in the footsteps of early explorers by delving into the depths of the money pit and witnessing the astounding discovery that forever altered the course of human history. The island serves as a reminder that there are still mysteries to be solved, secrets to be uncovered, and hidden treasures waiting in the most unlikely places. Tap the video links that appear, as there is much to learn about Oak Island. Click now, and we'll meet you there in a moment. But something incredible has been found. We are seeing some quantities of gold. It shows gold, yes, gold and silver have finally been discovered on Oak Island. The Lagina crew's hard work has finally paid off, but it leaves one pressing question: are these riches part of the legendary mystic treasure, or has Oak Island, long known for its hidden wealth, turned out to be a literal gold mine that is about to change the Lagina crew's lives forever? Let's dive in and find out. It turns out that what they found is, in fact, silver, but it contains a small amount of lead. One particular discovery stands out: a William III shilling, a silver coin with the same diameter and matching designs to a T. The true breakthrough happened when the crew partnered with Dumas Contracting Limited, allowing them to begin rebuilding the 18th-century-old garden shaft, believed to be the original deposit site of the long-lost treasure. They had several reasons to believe the treasure would be at the bottom of this shaft. The first reason was the discovery of a collapsed secret tunnel just below the shaft. The second was that this mysterious tunnel was running west toward the Baby Blob, an area that tested highly for traces of gold, silver, and other metals. Their next step was to begin horizontal probe drilling, which they hoped would finally reveal the treasure's location. Unfortunately, their drilling efforts led to a disaster. They accidentally triggered a leak of ocean water that forced them out of the tunnel. Realizing they had fallen into an ancient trap, they saw all their hard work undone. They speculated that they had struck the flood tunnel system, but at the same time, this disaster validated many of the stories and legends surrounding the island. All the science and booby traps came together to confirm that the legends about this island were real. Their big goal now is to obtain good, solid pieces of the shaft for dendrochronology testing, which would provide them with an exact date. They concluded that the volume and speed at which the garden shaft flooded could only be explained by deliberate actions meant to stop treasure hunters in their tracks. Jack explains that things have changed all over the island, with Lot 5 being their first stop. There, they describe the various discoveries and clues they have uncovered. In Lot 5, they have found ancient structures no one previously knew about, as well as artifacts dating as far back as the 1200s to the 1700s. These finds continue to fuel the mystery of Oak Island, proving that history still has secrets waiting to be uncovered. Ancient coins and tokens have even been found in this lot, adding to the intrigue of the discoveries over time. Because of the growing evidence of treasure in the money pit, the crew has expanded their search to the rest of the island, hoping to uncover who originally created the mystery of Oak Island. The western portion of the island may hold the answers. Lot 5, a 4-acre portion of land, was first purchased just a few years ago by Rick, Marty, and Craig from the estate of Robert Young. Since acquiring the land, they have made numerous discoveries, each adding new potential suspects behind the island's traps, secrets, and treasure. One of these suspects appears to have left behind 4 Roman coins dating back 2,000 years. The team quickly recognized the coins as Roman in design, confirming their historical significance.